All right, thank you guys for joining in today. I want to appreciate you for taking your time to learn about this wonderful company that we call Lifewave and the community that we are establishing through many doctors, many clinicians, functional medicines, chiropractors, acupuncturists, anybody that wants to help their people. We're here for them. And today we have a group of great doctors that are their call is to help people. So with that in mind, Adet, thank you for asking me to come in. And Dr. Soha, we're here to serve you. So you let me know whenever you're ready to start.
Let's just start. I'd love to just jump right in.
Okay. So
It's a
I'm
good
going to go
place.
ahead and share my screen.
I wanted to thank you, Pastor Ed, for sharing with us today. You're just a wealth of knowledge, and you've seen and heard of so many testimonies, and you've really vetted this so well. So it's our pleasure to have you today.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And
Appreciate
a little
it.
bit, just a little bit about my experience. I had the privilege of meeting Pastor Ed in another presentation that he did with us, and his stories and the testimonies that he gave. I think it just blew my mind away, and the courage to be able to go and meet with some people that have gone through some things. And I think that that says a lot about the leadership and the people who are behind it. I would love for you to share if we could start with a testimony that you have many, but kind of what happened with you at church, your background, and even a little bit about your wife.
Sure, absolutely. And what I love about this technology mainly, and what I love about what it has done for me and my family, that's where I start, right? Because if I don't have a testimony, if I don't have something that it has done for me, then what good is it, right? So if I'm not aware of the technology, then I'm not that I don't support it 100%. So it all started with what I like to call a perfect storm. We were in a situation where my mom was 2 weeks from getting her knee replacement. My brother had a sciatica issue that I had to help. He's also a jeweler. So I had to help him with jewelry because he couldn't work. So because of the sciatic pain that he had, one of my sons was in the hospital with mental health issues, and my wife, who's my biggest my biggest supporter, right? She had a failed bladder mesh installed and had been removed. She had it for 5 years with excruciating pain, 17 surgeries, major surgeries that we went through. But the last one that broke the camel's back was she told me she was going to get a pump installed in her bladder that was going to be powered by a battery by her coccyx bone. And I said, no, no more. There's no more. There's no way that I'm going to be married to a cyborg. I'm like, there's no way that this is going to happen. And that's where I put my foot down. But I really prayed and I was seeking God and asking him, what can we use to be able to help so many different, starting with my family, right? But one thing that I didn't tell Lorenzo, who is the guy that I met, was that I hurt my shoulder 2 days prior meeting with him, and he told me, "Okay, Ed, I'll come over tomorrow." And I said, "Where are you from? Are you local?" He goes, "No, I'm from Manhattan, and I'm in Maryland." So we're 4.5 hours away. And I said, "Why are you coming here?" And so my walls started coming. I knew about him. We did business before in prior businesses. So he said to me, "Because I love you and I love your mom." And that love really touched my heart because, I feel as nobody. And here this guy is coming from all the, so far away, taking his time to come in and meeting us. And so he came. It was on that Saturday that he came, and I didn't tell him that I hurt my shoulder. So we went to he was putting the patches on my mom, on my brother. And then he says, "You want to try it?" I said, "Yeah, sure. Why not?" Remember, not telling him because I'm skeptical. I'm the most skeptical person that there is. At least I think I like to think that way. So he put the patch on my back and my GB14, and immediately within 10 seconds, I kid you not, the pain that my shoulder was having, and the reason I hurt my shoulder was about 300 pounds of weight fell off on the shelf that I was building in my garage, 2 days earlier. So it was very, very hurtful, very painful. And within 10 seconds, that was the first time I experienced the power of the patch. The pain was gone. And I said, what is going on here? Also, I have problems with my breathing. I'm constantly on allergy medication, the Flonase, over-the-counter medication, and I couldn't sleep without taking pills. And I started breathing better. And I'm like, what in the world is this? So I started benefiting from different aspects of just one patch. And I'm like, what is this? I'm like, and he kept saying, there's nothing in the patch. And I'm like, there's got to be something in the patch. And he's like, no, there's nothing that goes into your body. And I understood that, non-transdermal, because you all hear about the transdermal nicotine patches that you put on, Nicorette or whatever it's called. So I understood that there was nothing going on, but I kept at it. And finally, I asked him millions of questions, which he responded. And he led me into understanding phototherapy, or the scientific name for photobiomodulation. So I understood how we can actually message our body to be able to do a chemical or electrical change in our body through messaging. And he explained to me that the best example we have is the sun. But I never understood that. And I was too proud to be able to ask how light makes our body vitamin D. So he explained it to me, and I'm like, oh, so that makes perfect sense. Our body has the vitamins through nutrients and things that we eat, multivitamins that we take, nutritions and supplements. And it is our body, when it's being messaged by the sun, that we then make and fabricate this nutrients or vitamins or different peptides that are being activated, that it brings on those aspects and those benefits for our body, especially vitamin D. During the pandemic that we had, everybody told us to stay indoors, which was the worst thing that you could do, because it's outdoor that you can get. I didn't pay attention. I have a dog, and I took him for a walk 4 to 7 miles every day. So needless to say, I don't like, I'm like a revolutionary, I like to break things and rebuild them again. I've taken my computers all apart and brought them back together, because I like to think. I like to know, how things work. So when this was brought to me, I'm a jewelry designer by trade. I'm also a pastor, so I wear a lot of hats. So when this was brought to me, I was like, this is really, really amazing. This is really exciting. So those are the things that happened with me. And needless to say, when I gave the patch to my wife, she thought I was giving her keys for a new car or a credit card, because I don't buy gifts for her anymore, because everything I bought, she sends back. So I just learned to give her money, and that makes her very happy. So I'm okay. A happy wife, a happy life. So
we're all like, yes, yes.
When I gave her those patches, she's like, really? Patches? Like, what is this going to do? I said, honey, I have a lot of faith that this is going to help you with your issues that you're having. And so she started wearing the patches. With blind faith, she said, okay, let's try them. And she started using them. And a year and 7 months that we've been in the business, her pain subsided. All her issues of fibromyalgia has gone away. She had IC, which is like, if you guys, your doctors, you know what that is, going to the bathroom at least 10 to 12 times a night. So she wasn't getting sleep at all. So she wasn't hitting the REM or even a delta sleep. So when we started this technology, and we started using what we call a cellular regeneration patch placement, or a detox, that really cleanses your body. And we'll talk a little bit about that later. But I want to go ahead, if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and share my screen and go into the presentation. When we talk about the different patches and what they do, we'll go really quick. We won't spend much time on it, because I want to spend time with you guys answering your questions that you may have. Is that okay?
Yeah, and as you do that, one of the things that I wanted to highlight for us is, I know some of us have prescribed it, or we've encouraged it, but it's the light therapy. So we've had patients that are depressed or that are atypical, and we've encouraged them to go get specific light and to sit under that light. And we know that the different colors and the different rays of these lights can trigger different responses in the body. The thing that, as we go into the patches, that's not realistic is spending hours under a light, or knowing exactly what light is needed at what time. And so one of the things that is very helpful here is that we're going to get into. And a second thing is that in Chinese medicine, these patches have actually, these are not a new thing. However, it was the body. They would patch the entire body. And again, that's not realistic. It's actually very expensive when you actually look into this. And so one of the things that I appreciate about the patches, what I just want you guys to know that I actually have one on, is just the size of it, the ease with which you're able to use. Go ahead.
Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and I'll share my screen, and then we're going to go right into the presentation. We have some sound here. We'll have a couple of videos that we'll watch, and then we'll go right into the presentation now.
And feel free to write your questions in the chat, whatever they are. It'll really, you know, bring quality to this presentation.
Absolutely. All right. So first we'll watch a video, and I'm sure you guys watch it, but after I watched this like 7 times, it really made a little bit more sense to me.
Light, an ancient form of energy that goes back to the dawn of time. For us, it all begins with the sun, the source of light and life for our entire solar system. Even Einstein concluded that everything we're made of contains light. All life originates with the sun through photosynthesis. Plants and vegetation collect the light, and all living creatures emit light. Humans actually emit infrared light, which can be seen with night vision devices. We've known for centuries that light has many effects on the body. Lifewave's phototherapy patches use light to stimulate the body's natural healing systems, providing specific health benefits. Here's how the technology works. First, a patch is applied to specific points on the body. Where the patch covers the skin, infrared light emitted from the body is reflected back into the tissue. This stimulates the skin, which in turn stimulates specific regions of the brain. The brain then taps into the body's own natural flow of energy and the ability to heal itself. Let's take a look at why this is important on a cellular level. For example, a number of our patch products help counteract free radicals, oxygen molecules that damage cell proteins and contribute to visible signs of aging. When the body is stimulated through phototherapy to release its own antioxidants, these free radicals are neutralized naturally. Lifewave phototherapy patches promote an environment that enables the body to optimize its restorative powers and provide specific health benefits, all without the use of harmful drugs or chemicals, all helping you to stay healthy and young. To find out more, contact your distributor. Lifewave, live long, live well.
So here we have a disclaimer that says that we don't prevent, treat, or diagnose any diseases. This is really important to have because we don't want to get in trouble with the FDA that will want to come and close our company. Although in Europe and in the East, our patches are considered medical treatments. So we have, as you notice, we have a large variety of patches in our technology. And last November, we came across a new product that's called Dreams and Shine. And we'll share a little bit more about that later. So the first patch, what we want to get out to people to make them understand is that there's a lot of people using our patches. There are NBA soccer players. Even in the last World Cup, the whole Japanese soccer team was using the patches. You also have David Beckham, Serena Williams, all of them. And what you notice that they've gotten a little smarter. They figured out that they don't have to wear the patches on their body. So when they take their clothes off, you don't see them. They're actually wearing them inside their uniforms now. So, and the reason why they do that is because they want to make sure that they have a secret weapon. You know, in any competitive sport, even a fraction of a second can make a world of a difference. So what we have here is that the other video is, this is a 6-minute video that talks a little bit about the business aspect. It won't go in detail, till you guys are ready for that. We can spend some more time on it, but right now this is just a refresher of the business.
It's not too often that an opportunity comes along that puts you in the right place at the right time with the right product. But that's exactly where you find yourself as you discover the power of Lifewave technology and the opportunity it represents for you. Our mission? To share products with the world that enhance the health, wellness, beauty, and longevity of every person we encounter. If that resonates with you, take a moment and imagine. Have you heard about the billions being spent in the race to cash in on the promise of stem cells? We're told the possibilities in the future for improving our health and wellness using stem cell science for big pharma are huge. But what if the future was now? What if you could be perfectly positioned to take advantage of the stem cell revolution today, partnering with an established company with proven technology, using a business distribution system that puts you in the driver's seat now? Too good to be true? Absolutely not.
It's what the world wants. We don't want drugs. We don't want injections. We don't want surgery.
I've never seen anything like this in 21 years of being a doctor, anything coming close to doing what this technology does for people.
This is a pivotal moment in alternative medicine and in the future of technology and healing and helping people.
Stem cells are the future. As a wellness company, we needed to be part of the stem cell revolution. And with X39, that's exactly what's happened.
That's David Schmidt, Lifewave's founder, CEO, and inventor of X39, his latest breakthrough in what is wearable, virtually weightless technology.
I'm now 50 years old and I feel like 30 years.
In 2 days, X39, my knee pain was really gone.
That's a really fun thing to share with people because everybody is made by it.
What does X39 do? It harnesses light to elevate a copper peptide proven to activate stem cells.
We're bringing regenerative science to everyone, and we're doing it safely and inexpensively and with extraordinary benefits. So this is why we have such an advantage in the marketplace and what makes our opportunity for our business builders so enormous.
This is cutting-edge science with no competition that's safe, affordable, non-invasive, and drug-free. We have an X39 video that tells you all about the science, so be sure to watch it. But with over 80 clinical studies behind it and multiple worldwide patents protecting it, the science is settled.
It's a game changer. There is absolutely no competition.
You're not going to be able to find this in any other different company.
So where do you come in? Our distribution model is network marketing, an industry that approaches $200 billion a year in sales worldwide. People telling people about products and building teams of team builders that accelerate that word of mouth. It's big business, and Lifewave is growing fast within it.
It's very unusual that you would have cutting edge science make its way into network marketing. But as it turns out, because our products produce immediate effects, immediate benefits, sharing the product face to face makes it the ideal way to share the technology.
The only thing you have to do is go out and share it with people. That's it.
You don't have to be a medical doctor like me. Everybody can do this.
You try the patch and you love it.
The reaction that people give us is like, wow.
With warehouses now in multiple countries and the capability to manufacture millions of units per month already in place, Lifewave is ready for you. Just think about who you know and all the people they know that would like more energy without the buzz, to reduce or eliminate pain, to sleep better, all without drugs, to look and feel younger without risky procedures. The list of benefits using our products is long. The market's vast. Are you starting to get the idea here? You're on the threshold of something significant. I mean, think about it. This is an opportunity with global reach where there's help and support alongside you every step of the way, and it's all fueled by a science that has no competition. As a member, you have an incredible array of marketing support, training, and business services that allow you to focus on what's important, spreading the word about Lifewave and helping us expand.
The growth in the future is going to be fast because of X39.
Once you learn about the X39 and you see what it's doing for people, for me, I feel like it's an obligation to share it.
Today, more and more people are really looking for solutions for a better lifestyle.
Everybody wants to look younger. Everybody needs more sleep, wants to have more energy,
wants to get rid of pain.
And Lifewave is fun because you're making a difference in people's lives. It's not a little difference, it's a big difference.
Lifewave gave my children their mother back. When you're able to move someone's health as much as we can with Lifewave, see what change that made into people's life. That's amazing. It is. You can literally change someone's life. And I love that.
So there you have it. Look, whatever you want, however high your goals, however big your dreams, it's all possible with Lifewave. So be sure to get back to the person who suggested you watch this video and get started today. Try X39 or one of our other fantastic products so you can learn for yourself what all the excitement is about when it comes to Lifewave. Whatever you do, though, be sure to get started today because the clock is ticking. The time is now. You don't want to miss out. We're building Lifewave to $1 billion company. Let's do it together.
All right, so I'm going to start really quick and I'll show you just the benefits of each one of these products. Energy Enhancer, it's the name of it, it says what it is, right? Energy Enhancer, but the most amazing thing for me is that it turns fat into energy. So it converts fat into energy. So that is truly, truly amazing. Having to have your body to be balanced when it comes to meridians and having the energy to have, some people have stagnant energy. Really quick example, I had a client that we met in North Carolina. We were away last weekend. And when we put a patch on him, he actually started having more neck pain. And we were kind of puzzled. I wasn't, because I knew what it was. Immediately, I knew there was stagnant energy in his body. So I applied Energy Enhancer on both, on 4 gates, on both of his, I believe it's liver 4, and also in his intestines, intestine 2, I think it is. I'm not sure. Don't quote me with a spot, but it was
We
right.
wouldn't know, by the way. We wouldn't know because we're clinical doctors, so we're not. You're gonna know more than we will.
Okay, so it was right here at the web of each hand on the left side and the right side. Of course, I put the tan one on the left side and the white one on the right hand. And he also had pain, so we put Ice Wave on the bottom of his feet. So he's like, I'm gonna take my socks off. He takes his all boots off and socks on. I put it there, and immediately he says, I feel something incredible. And he's like, my pain is going away. And the reason why I knew that is because he started also having pain on his elbow. And he said, why is my elbow hurt? So at that moment, I knew that the energy was trying to move. And the way to be able to maximize and balance that energy is through Energy Enhancer and the 4 gates. So we'll talk a little bit about that. So that was a really cool example how Energy Enhancer helped us. Silent Night is a daily patch that I put on every night because I want to keep my wife from not going to another room to sleep because I snore a lot. And this really has, it doesn't put you to sleep. It gives you a better quality of sleep when you're sleeping. So it takes you to that delta sleep that where the body can repair itself. So that's why I love this patch also. In 2006, that's when we created Ice Wave. Ice Wave, it's not an anti-analgesic or a non-analgesic, because analgesic is like Tylenol, ibuprofen. What they do is they block the signal for your brain to go to the part of your body so that it stops the pain. But this is not. This actually goes to the source of the problem and reduce inflammation, reduce the stress, reduce pain immediately within 10-15 seconds. I've seen it happen. The longest pain reduction that I've experienced was from a cousin of mine. It took him about 35 minutes to reduce his pain. But nonetheless, everybody's body's different, so it reacts differently with every client that you have.
And if I can just I'm sorry, if
Sure.
I can just
No, go ahead.
interrupt with the pain, the Ice Wave. One of the things that's unique for us is that some of the patients that we serve, they're very psychosomatic. And so a lot of times when they come in, they won't really tell you that they're depressed or they're not doing well, but they really have a lot of pain. And so one of the things that I appreciate about this particular patch is that we can address the physical pain in order to be able to actually go into some of that depression. And we also know that with chronic pain, sometimes antidepressants are prescribed because of the pain gate with regards to the serotonin levels as well.
Amazing and incredible. When I travel, I put 2 of these on because it's been known within 24 hours of wearing this patch, glutathione level goes up to 300%. So when you wear 2 of them, it goes up to 700%. So when I'm traveling, going to church and being around a lot of people, not that you have to, but that's my experience. I put 2 of them so I don't get sick. I hate wearing that face diaper, and so I try to stay away from all that. So this has really helped me from getting sick.
And then the glutathione, I have a little testimony about the glutathione patches. So my kiddo has a deviated septum, so he struggles a lot with breathing and he gets sick, and we can't he's 3 years old. So medication is not very helpful at all. And he's not able to take surgery. And what I love is that he doesn't do well with any medication. So anytime we've attempted to give him anything, it just can't stay in his mouth. It's like, there's a psychology piece to it for him. So he's like vomiting. It's like taking him to the dentist and having him have the worst root canal. I mean, it's just been a struggle. And so I looked at these patches and I learned, wait a minute, glutathione can actually help with his coughing. So we finally convinced him to just put a patch on. Like he literally put the patch on, and I have to take him out of the underneath the table. I mean, he was hiding from this, but we finally convinced him to put on a patch. And I think I showed a video to Edette. Like within an hour, this kid was over energized and he stopped coughing. And so his cough immediately went away, and I was blown away by what had happened, because it was the first time I had seen him. And he was just like, look at me, I have no more cough. And I think it gave him a little bit too much energy because he couldn't sleep. But then I really wanted to test it out. So what we did is I had the teacher at his school monitor him, because she was very aware of his coughing and kind of some of the allergies that he had. And so we would put on this patch. By nap time, it was gone. So we didn't get the full extent to it. But she came to me and she said, I really see a difference. His coughing has decreased substantially. So a lot of times we may not see the effects right away, but I can absolutely speak to my kiddo being able to benefit from this. Again, 3 years old, medicine is not an option for him. Even if it was, it's literally not an option for him. So just wanted to share.
Well, that's really awesome, and I'm glad that you are courageous enough to do it on your own children. We haven't had clinical studies on children, but if it were my kids and my kids were younger, I'll definitely put the patches on them. As a matter of fact, when they're any of my kids, I have 3 boys, 25, and a set of twins, they're 22. When they have tummy aches or they don't feel good, they go to the patches now and they put them on themselves. So I'm really proud of that too. And thank you, Dr. Soha, for sharing that with us. Incredible patch that we should all be wearing every day. Carnosine is the next patch that was developed in 2006, which prevents DNA damage. It also helps you with the brain fog. So I was about really very close to quitting the ministry in my church. I talked to my pastor because I was forgetting things. I was forgetting names and numbers and things like that. So it was really scary for me, And so I came to him and I told him that I had to move away from the ministry. And he's like, well, Pastor Ed, let's pray. Let's seek God about this to see if there's a solution for it. Lo and behold, a few weeks later, I started using this patch, and the brain fog is gone. I have energy to go through a service. We go to a very charismatic church, so there's no time to start and stop the service. We just go on, right? So I don't do any notes. I just go on and I do what I have to do, and I really enjoy it. So the next patch that I want to talk about is SB6 Complete. This reduces cravings and sugar cravings. But the most amazing thing is, like, every patch that we have, every technology that we have, It has secondary benefits, even sometimes 3 or 4 or 5 different types of benefits that we have in our patch. This one here, the benefits that it balances your hormones in both male and female. And what I love about that is we have a technology now called BioWell, which I'll share with you guys later. I'll know when my hormones are not balanced, where my organs are not balanced, and I'm able to apply this. And within minutes of applying this, I test myself again with the BioWell, which is a frequency machine that we have, that we can see the inside of our bodies. We can see what's happening with each organ, with our teeth, with our eyes. Just amazing. And so when we apply this, immediately when we test ourselves, our organ energy gets balanced. So that is really incredible for me.
And over here, the SB6, Gisu, she's one of our licensed clinicians. She has a passion for working with women who have had postpartum and have struggled. And so she's very familiar with the behaviors and the symptoms that can come from these hormonal imbalances. And I want to highlight this is because a lot of times when these happen, women cannot get on certain medications. Not only especially the ones that are pregnant, they cannot. And so to have something that could be more of a supplement, that could be safer, is very, very helpful to a lot of the people that we serve, not just menopausal, but people that are, again, pregnant or just having had children. A lot of these things help. Also, we help with geriatrics. So this is going to be great. I just wanted to highlight that.
I love this patch, especially for my wife, because at 29, she had a full hysterectomy and she refused to do the hormonal therapy. So when this was brought to her attention, she loves it because it has balanced her in more ways than one. So we love that patch because of that. The next one I want to talk about is Eon, which reduces stress and inflammation. And this is our #1 patch that we use when we demo the technology. The second patch is Icewave, and the third one is X39. But if we want to build a business, in which a lot of us are, unbeknownst to me and my wife and my family, we didn't think that we were going to do this as a business. But in less than 2 years, we already double the income that we're making in jewelry. So this has become our primary business income. So to me is incredible using this patch. This was my first patch. This is my first experience with the company. Reduce the CR proteins in our body, balances autonomic systems. That we have about 32 autonomic systems, and I know that because we scan ourselves and we test ourselves, and we see that in the daytime before we put patches on, I might have 2 or 3 different autonomic systems unbalanced. Once I put this on, it gets back to balance, and not always 100%, but our body's always trying to be at homeostasis. Doesn't quite get there, but it's best to try to get to it, without without pills and medication and so forth. Alavita, go ahead.
I apologize. Dr. Ashley, I asked her to speak a little bit more about the inflammation that was in there, because I think a lot of times we don't realize the impact of having inflammation. So Dr. Ashley, can you speak a little bit more about that and the significance of the Eon patch?
Yeah, like regarding mental health.
Inflammation. Go ahead.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. So I think this is anything with the Eon patch, I think is going to be helpful, because so much, and Soha and I did a video on this a few months ago, but anything with inflammation affects mental health, because that's like the highways that everything is traveling down regarding neurotransmitters from our gut to our brain. Anytime there's inflammation, if you have poor gut health, you have poor neurotransmitter health. And so part of gut health journey is treating inflammation and helping everything travel more smoothly and be absorbed and used more effectively. All of these things come back down to somebody's understanding of inflammation. And this, I was thinking, would pair so well when people have, unhealthy coping with sugar cravings, because they're wanting those boosts of dopamine or just to feel better or give themselves energy. We could, combining that with the other patch that talked about sugar cravings would be phenomenal. And the glutathione that's our master detoxifier. That's our number one thing. And it starts decreasing in age, after about age 30, it starts going down in everybody. But we have a large number of kiddos nowadays that their glutathione is low from infancy up. They have a hard time detoxing. And this has to do with the massive amount of toxins they're exposed to in utero. The amount of heavy metals and toxins that we're finding in umbilical cords, and then babies are born with the inability, a lot of them, a less effective ability to detox themselves. So when they're adults and they come in and they've been diagnosed with something on the autism spectrum, 99% of the time, when you talk to them, you're going to understand they're not good at detoxing. Their body is just chock full of neurotoxins. And so adding something like glutathione, the patch form seems really important because with somebody who struggles like this, you wouldn't want to give them typically a direct glutathione supplement. They need it in acetylcysteine form. So when you're just helping them recycle and use their own glutathione through this technology, you wouldn't have to worry about giving them wellness information or advice for something that could hurt them. This is just using what their body can naturally do, kind of helping them improve that. So I love the ramifications of that for the people we work with like this.
Incredible.
Thank you, Dr. Ashley.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. All right, so let's move to my Alavita. Alavita is a patch that we use that reduces appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. You may say, why do I need that, right? We all want to stay young. We all want to look good for one way, shape, of another. But this patch is more than just trying to look good. When I was told to wear this on my forehead for better sleep, and man, did I get a good night's sleep. Every night after I put the cream on, we have a daytime and a nighttime cream. And then we put the Alavita on as a patch too. It combines, it helps you. I've been using it for more than 6 months, and I've known fine lines and wrinkles going, age spots going, even through wearing it with X39 scars that I had in my face have basically disappeared. 90% of the subjects saw significant overall improvements within 3 weeks of using the products. So it's an incredible. This is the only product that we have lotions with it, because when David decided to go to make this technology, he wanted to initially just do it with a patch, but after talking to people that actually work on that Chanel and work on that type of arena with the beauty industry, he came across this technology that had to be married together with those 2 lotions. So that's what we created that. Nirvana, I think this along other patches would work really well with your industry or your scope of interest, Dr. Soha, because it enhances your moods, it sustains results. There's no drugs, but what it does too, that it supports your endorphin production in your body. So I was told that this is 30% more helpful or strong than morphine. So can this also help people with pain? And absolutely, I have people that use the supplement that comes along with it, because there's a seaweed pill that is totally natural. That's the only other product that we have that has a pill with it, but it totally has helped people with my kid with his health problem that he has when he went to the hospital. We were using this technology to help them to get through it, and he's doing a lot better now.
And then Dr. Ashley, can you speak a little bit more to the endorphin piece of it? I know that we use it for antidepressant medication, ADHD medication, and so on and so forth. Could you speak a bit more about that?
Absolutely. So it's something that our body should be healthfully making on its own, has its own system to manage it in our brains. but we get imbalanced or we get low, and a lot of that again will come back down to toxin exposure and how that affects our ability to make it properly. But the more natural you can produce this or recycle your own of what you have, you know, leaving it between systems in your brain to use for longer periods of time, the better. Because we find a lot of psychotropic medications over time, there's an accumulation of heavy metals. There's issues people have over time where their tolerance changes or their dosage needs changed. And that's in large part because our bodies change. They change, like all the things that we've talked about, it has an accumulative effect. So the more natural you can keep it, it's going to be more aligned with what your body needs. But that's going to be better predicted by the less inflamed you are. If you know your body's using the most of what it has most effectively, which, you know, I think that this kind of creates a system for people that they can deflame, they can get rid of toxins, and they can produce their own chemicals naturally. That's most people really crave that healthcare autonomy. They want to be able to do that for themselves with their own body, not relying on, I need a doctor to feel happy. I need this to feel like myself. So this kind of helps them get to a place where their body's doing its own work again.
And Pastor Ed spoke a little bit more about pain, the aspects of pain and morphine. And I think that a lot of the patients that we work with are very negative, or they don't want to be on any kind of stimulant or medication that is going to be habit forming. You know, it's a big thing. And so what I appreciate about this is that it's not habit forming. And a lot of times the people that we work with, especially people who have been addicted to different types of substances or on very high psychotropic medications, even our kiddos that come in with ADHD, these stimulant medications, their body stops responding. And there's only such a dose they can go to. So products like this are very appealing to those parents and to the people who have really struggled and not only are deficient in being able to produce, but are more encouraged to go a different route.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. So let's move on to this is, I say, the best for last, right? This is when we enter the stem cell industry in 2019. Before that, we were selling $25-30 million a year. When we entered this with X39, last year, the year before, we had made over $300 million, and past year we made over $600 million. That's per year of sales. So an incredible technology that I know my wife and I will, when we go home to be with the Lord, we're going to be wearing X39 because it's an incredible technology that helps you, like that video that was talking about, helps you activate a peptide called GHK-Cu, which is a copper peptide. Once that peptide is activated, it's been known, clinically tested, and many years of clinical showing us that it does work. This is what our main patch and our best seller. So what does it do? It's natural. It's you're not putting a foreign chemical, you're not putting a foreign DNA or a foreign stem cell into your body. It's not a cadaver, it's not from babies, it's not from fruits or plants. This is your own body manufacturing their own stem cells. So to me, this is a life changer. Why? Because I don't have to be ashamed of telling people where this stem cell came from, because it's their own. And you notice, as our great grandparents or grandparents, when they're walking around, they're hunched over because of pain and arthritis. Well, what this is doing, this is reducing all those years back that the damage has caused. And where's the damage come from? Dr. Soha and Dr. Both of you guys have been talking about how this has caused because of toxins in our body, heavy metals, plastics. We have so much junk in our body that needs to come out. And I'll share with you, because we also have a whole system called cellular regeneration that helps you to reduce all those incredible hurtful things that we have in our bodies. And the stem cells X39 is one of the products that does that. Rapid pain relief, better sleep, improve energy, you name it. The results and the benefits are incredible, which is there are people actually in our business, in our industry, that don't sell any of the other patches except this one. And they have made a business for that, and they become very lucrative because, you know, some people don't want to hear about all the other patches because they believe that this is the only patch that can do it, and it does. But we believe that the other patches work in conjunction and with each other to be able to get a better result. Skin growth. Now, of course, what I'm saying are a lot of it has been clinically tested, but a lot of it has also been anecdotal. So I have a form that I'm going to show you guys with all the testings that we do. Every product that we have has been clinically tested for its efficacy and also for its safety. We don't want to put a patch on somebody that's going to be detrimental to their health. We want to improve their health. So we vet, we test, and make sure that everything is good for the body.
And this is where I want to speak to the X39 about my own personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so for whoever knows, whoever doesn't know, I'm going to just share a little bit about my personal experience. And I think that's the X39 that really, you know, struck a chord with me. Very similar to you, Pastor Ed. I am very apprehensive, and I am very guarded about a lot of the products that I've come to and I've known. And I'm an advocate for Western medicine, ironically. I've studied it. So I'm very much psychotropic. I'm very, very much into being able to use psychopharmacology to be able to help alleviate pain. Now, being the clinical director of this Free Again and working with a lot of patients who are anti, I also have a lot of respect for other types of natural homeopathic tendencies or waves or methods. And so with that said, this is not something I would ever go after, just being somebody who's like, you know, initially exposed to it. My mother was visiting, and so she had patches with her. And lo and behold, she left her patches. And so I had patches just sitting there, and I thought, let's really see what it is. I mean, it happens to be here. I'm going to try it. And I remember like trying the patches. I knew that X39 wasn't going to take, you know, and it was going to take time. I had no expectation. And I remember within a few months, maybe 3 months max, we had a family come over and guests come over for the holidays. We had drinks and we had we would stay up late, and I would wake up recharged, and other people wouldn't, but I would. And I just thought that's ironic. And then as time went by, the medication I was on, so I was on some heavy duty medications at very, very high doses. Again, I believe it, I advocate for it, and I know what it does. So for me, I just wanted to be stabilized and balanced. But for some reason, I noticed that these medications I was off. And so me working with my psychiatrist, we substantially brought down my medications. I mean, I was literally on the highest dose of a lot of them, but one of them that I was in such a high dose of, I mean, they brought me down to very, very low dose. And then because of that low dose, the other ones were now offsetting. So I got to a place where there was this one medication I was on, and this is why I think it's such a big deal. And it was a stimulant medication, and it was for ADD. And also at really, really high levels, it helps with excessive eating, binge eating, those types of eating disorders, intense cravings that they help. Some of these medications also help with smoking. They just have these different effects, even though for me, those weren't all the areas. But I've been taking this medication for years and years and years. And I remember my doctor asking me just to get off for a little bit for the weekends, because you don't really need ADHD medication or ADD medication as an adult you're not working. And I had not done that. And so, obviously I'm gonna like listen. I'm a very, very compliant patient. And I remember getting off of it for like the first day, the second day, and I was ready to go. I knew I was gonna have some kind of withdrawal, and I didn't. And then the third day turned into the fourth day, and then the fifth day, and then like I just stopped it. And so I just stopped taking the medication because my body just did not react and respond in the way that I had expected to. And so I meet with my psychiatrist, and my psychiatrist is blown away, and she's just clapping for me because this is not a medication that is that easy to get off of, for the intensive time that I've been on it. And dose, I was like on the highest dose. And then, so again, I'm just taking this, like, I have no, oh, that's interesting. But my passion starts to increase. So then this is happening, and I start doing the detox, the regenerative protocol that Pastor was speaking to, and I couldn't sleep because there's a sleeping patch on there. And I was, okay, by the way, guys, I was on the lowest dose of a sleeping aid. And it was not, because it wasn't anything like habit forming. So it was not like a sleeping aid, that like Ambien or even Xanax or anything like that. It was just on a very, very, very low dose of another medication that helped with sleep. I couldn't go any lower. Like I could not cut the pill in any less, because I would wake up tired as can be, because I was taking the sleep aid. And then in addition to that, I was taking the sleeping patch, and my body was just restoring itself, that I had to get off of that. So it's a testimony that is unique to me. But if you know my background and you know what I believe in and what I don't believe in, I was blown away, and I was floored. And because of that, I became very passionate about wanting Free again to have more familiarity with this, and to really be able to look at this alternative form of substance or supplement that we have. And so I know, for the sake of time, Pastor, you wanted to go into the cell rejuvenation, and I would really love to be able to hold off on that. Although we would be honored if we could have more staff meetings and have you come on, because there's just so much more to learn. And for the sake of time, we're going to have this, this is being recorded, but if it's okay with you, Pastor Ed, if you have a few minutes, if there's anybody that has questions that's able to stay on or ask any questions, we want to highlight that as well. Would that be okay with you?
Sure.
If anybody
Absolutely.
has a question. Okay. And then if you have to go, please, thank you for joining. Feel free to go. And I know I will personally check in with everyone after this meeting. But before you go, I do want you to know, because, and I think, Mitch, are you there? I'm not sure if Mitch is on or not. But I do want, so I'll say it for Mitch. So we've been privileged with the opportunity to really work together at Free Again. And because we believe in this product, one of the things that we're going to do as an incentive for you guys is we're going to pay for half of your startup kit. So if this is something that you're very interested in, we are going to also pour into you guys, because we believe in it so much, and to be able to help come meet you guys halfway. The other thing that we're doing, as you guys know, is Free Again, we're all about our clinicians, and we're all about being able to find any way that we can to help the clinicians. And so we thought this would be a wonderful second form of income that can come for you guys, if it's something that you guys are, want to do or be passionate about, or any way in that regard. We don't get anything. So we're not making money off of anything. As a nonprofit, that's why we're a nonprofit in that regard. So anything that happens is poured back into the nonprofit. But as you can see, we're actually going out of our way, because we have passion to pour into you guys. So I did want to highlight that and share that with you guys as well, before we let you guys go. With that, go ahead.
I appreciate you say that, and that's so generous of you, Dr. Soha, to do that, because you believe. I have people that I've given that, my pastor and his wife, I gave him the whole cellular regeneration, because I know that it can help them, and I know that it can help so many different people. But of course, as a business owner, there's a fine line that you have to draw in, right? Because you can test the products, guys, without even giving them away. You can put the product on top of the people's clothes with a piece of tape. You don't even have to remove the backing from it. And once they agree and they like the product, they can buy it from you. And if they don't want to, you can just remove it and you can use it again. The patch activates when it's 3 inches away from our body and deactivates when it's away from it. So it can be used. You only use it for a few minutes. You still got 12 hours more to use the patch from. I'm going to talk a little bit about why networking, because some people really draw their walls up because they're like, why is this another multi-level marketing? First of all, we're not multi-level marketing. We're binary marketing. We're network marketing. We're the reason why you heard it on that video, David said, why we use that industry is because our products is very personable. You can't put our products on the shelf at GNC or at Walmart and expect people to know what to use, because it's very detailed. You know, it goes to a particular part of our body. We use acupressure points to be able to maximize the ability of the product. So all of that is being taught by people like us and other people that are in our network, and other doctors that are in a network. Doctors like Dr. Christine, who's an acupuncturist, who is an incredible trainer. We have a video that I'm going to share with you, Dr. Soha. You can share with your team. She was on 2 weeks ago on our Thursday's call, and she was talking about the testimonials and what she has done with her patients. She has about 30 to 40 patients that come on to her office every day. And she's using this technology with her patients, and she's getting greater results. Now, she's not going away from being an acupuncturist or a natural, she's also a nutritionist, but she's using it as a tool. And this is what is good for you guys. Use this as a tool to be able to help your clients to get better, so that their bodies heal themselves better. So that's what I wanted to say to you about that. And also, let's take any questions that you guys may have. I'll stay here as long as you guys want to stay here for. I know that we've gone over the hour mark, but I appreciate you guys for your time.
Well, we thank you because I know on our end, we started a little bit later, so thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm the latecomer, the first one to speak, so I apologize. Hi, Soha and everyone on here, and Marquita, nice to see you, and those
Good
of you
to
that
see you, brother.
and Mitch and so on, and those that I haven't met, honored to have a seat here. Thank you. Pastor Ed, thank you for the excellent presentation. I will have to be going, but I want to leave with my experience in the space, and in particular with Lifewave going back many years. And it's everything Pastor Ed was saying is withstood the test of time. It's a wonderful organization. I know it from an organizational standpoint, from business. This network marketing has been somehow got sucked into the consulting, and that's a space where I love so much, because these products that fall into this category are the kind of products that need a story. Because if it just sits on a shelf, you rely on a pretty looking box, if you will, and the message doesn't get out. So you're not competing with just any other shelf space. You're competing with efficacy. So in a world saturated with products and options and lotions and potions and promises, and Ponce de Leon had nothing on some of these companies, what I appreciate what Mitch and Soha had visioned is this is something that tells a story, and the efficacy of it is in the history of it as well. So it's a long way of saying I appreciate the time of this. I in my personal experience with Lifewave on many levels, it is the real deal, from efficacy of product to the business aspect of it, which to some may or may not be an issue. Sometimes we buy coffee from a chain that we don't know what the CEO is up to. So those sometimes aren't in play for some people, but I know with Lifewave and some of the people within the organization are really of the highest caliber. So I just wanted to share that as I step away. Pastor Ed, I hope to meet you at some point, and to everyone else as well. Dr. Soha, thank you for inviting me to have a seat at your table. And Mitch,
Pastor Skip, can you give me 1 second before you go? Just 1 second. I do want to say a little bit about you and your connection with Free Again. First of all, you're an ordained pastor. Second of all, you are Mitch and I actually got consulting and coaching from Skip Marital. So we've seen his work, we've seen what he does, phenomenal. But an executive coach, like he rocks it, by the way, and in so many other areas. But I highlight this, and I appreciate you speaking to that, because you're such an asset to our company, because you understand this field, you understand the market, and I'm hoping that with your permission, we can have you on and we can glean from you and learn a lot about how you go about it and how you would go about it, given that you're part of the team and that you are going to be a great asset for us.
Thank you. Very generous of you. Kind words, and I hope I can live up to half of that, and then I will have made my day. But no, thank you for that. So, you know, I'm always here to serve, and I appreciate that. And Pastor Ed, I saw you post your number up there. I'm going to jot that down, and then I'll text you next couple of days, Pastor Ed, and we'll just triangulate. So
I love that. I love that. Appreciate that. And I believe that God has placed us in a time like this, for such a time as this, just like Esther, because we can help so many people with this technology. And you guys are a fountain that we can use to help people all over the world. I believe that God has spoke that to me. I was praying for somebody really quick, Pastor. I was praying for somebody, and the Lord spoke to my spirit, and he said to me, in the daytime, and this is a night service, right? I'm a staff pastor. There's a big church that we go to. He said, in the daytime, you use your patches to heal my people. And it said, at nighttime, you use my glory. So what God was telling me is that never forget what he does for us. And of course, he's given knowledge and wisdom to doctors like you guys to be able to help us and heal us. And this is just another instrument that God has provided through David Schmidt and Lifewave to be able to take to the highways and the byways and help them in the time that they're in. And so I feel so privileged to use this as a ministry. And you, Pastor, you know that when we just, our ministry is people, you know, so that's what we're here for. So thank you for coming on, and thank you for your wonderful words. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you. Blessings to you all. Good to see you.
We'll see you
and
soon.
for some of you, Happy New Year. I haven't seen you guys in a while.
Gisu and I, Happy New Year.
Bye. Thank you. Blessings. Thank you. Thank you, Soha. Thank you, Mitch, Pastor Marquita. Good to see you. Dr. Ashley, thank you. Appreciate that. Is that Edette or Ida?
Edette and Gisu.
Edette. Nice to see you. Love your radiant smile. I can feel your energy over here already in Southern California. Is it Gisu?
Gisu.
Gisu. Nice to see you. I appreciate just the energy comes through digitally. That's awesome. I appreciate a good group of people. So, and Pastor Ed, I can't wait to hang out on that balcony over there. Use that telescope and look into the islands.
Amen. Malibu.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Hey,
Blessings.
guys,
Thank you so
there's
much.
a convention October 11th. I'm going to send you guys some videos. And Dr. Soha, have you invited everybody on your team to that group yet? Or are you working on that?
No, we haven't done anything until after our presentation. So
no problem. We'll follow up with you guys on that. Thank you, guys. Take care. God bless you.
Awesome.
See you, Dr. Pastor Skip. So I'm here for you guys. Any other questions?
I have a ton of questions.
Let me introduce though. I also want to introduce so that you have some background. So Marquita is also a pastor. She's an ordained pastor. She's one of our coaches. She's one of our certified coaches. And I've had the privilege of knowing most of the people here for many, many years. But Marquita was my Old Testament and New Testament professor. And I always, people have heard the story, but I've got to say it. She's when I first met her, I never wanted like ministry. I was like, oh my gosh, the Old Testament. I had no idea this was intense. she's very serious. When her heart is wrapped around something and God is leading, she's very serious. And she's the kindest, sweetest person ever, obviously, all these years later. So just, you know, she's an author, she's a professor, a great colleague, and friend, and she's overlooked so many things. I think I'm just not doing you a service, but I did want you to know a little bit more about her as well.
Thank you, sweetie. Appreciate you. I don't know that I can formulate an intelligent question right now. I've got so many things going through my mind as someone who is now living with chronic illness, chronic pain, and more medication than I ever thought I would need. Obviously, I am intrigued by the Lifewave's approach. I guess one of the big questions for me is right now I'm on two types of insulin. Short-acting and a long-acting insulin, in addition to oral medications. And I would want to know how the Lifewave's patches would interact with those kinds of pharmaceuticals. Obviously, I need to be monitored very closely by a doctor, you know, but I'm just, do you know of drug interactions with these patches?
There's no known contraindications with any medicines that you are being prescribed by your doctors. And again, we're not doctors, so you know, we wouldn't recommend you to get off a particular medication. Only your doctor can do that. But what I will tell you though is that I've gotten I used to take medicine for GERD, which is like acid reflux, and I'm no longer taking that medicine anymore because these patches have helped me. We have protocols. We call them protocols. I like to not call them protocols. I like to get away from that word because we're not doctors. Only doctors can give you protocols, but they're patch placements, advisements that we use for different patches for at different times, so that I can help you with everybody's different. We're all different, right? Well, God made us with so many different facets, but I believe that He's also provided a way for us to be better, to be healthy, and detoxing our body is one of the major ways of getting rid of a lot of things that we have need of. I've seen a lot of people get off of different medications little by little, and then like you, Dr. Soha, your doctors will probably look at you and say, you know what, you don't need this anymore. You don't need this. You don't need that. Only they can do that. What I would tell you, that you have to pray, you know, seek the Lord, and I'm sure that God will lead you. He has led you here so far for that very reason, right? So investigate, try some patches. What I would do is I would suggest, especially for pain, we can deal with that. Now, is there anybody around you that has the patches or can get the patches to you?
I am currently living in Las Vegas.
Okay.
So anything that I get, I'd have to do through the mail.
Okay, because we know a doctor, Dr. Caroline Williams, who is a functional medicine and a nutritionist in Vegas, that we can recommend you to her. You can go meet with her if you'd like to. You can go to the office. See if you guys are close. You have my phone number. If you want to just jot down my number down and call me, contact
the 410-905-9259, right?
Correct.
Okay. Got it.
So I can connect you with Dr. Caroline, and then we can she'll test you. I mean, she's well. We went to visit her with Brother Roy and Brother Lorenzo and Brother Rick, and we met with her there, and we met with a large group of her people that have gotten in the company. So she's like Dr. Christine, they're just above us. You know, they're really great at what they do. So I can connect you with her.
Okay,
and then also,
that would be wonderful. Thank
is
you.
Edet. I'm not sure if you know Edet, but Edet is actually the one that introduced these patches to all of us, and she's agreed to come on to be able to help us, and so she's a liaison for us with Lifewave. I honestly go to her for all my questions. Anytime I have a question, anytime I have a question about a patient, like she's my She's my doctor friend
Okay.
that I happen to know. But the reason why I highlight that is because she and I can have a conversation, and also we can link you guys together so that
Okay.
we can find something that we can coordinate. I know that
Okay.
she has been there for so many people, and she's, via telehealth. So
Got it.
I'd like for you guys to be able to link together as well, and she can walk you through a little bit more of that and
That
what
would
that
be
can.
amazing. Yeah. Thank you.
We can test you. We can test you, and we can get you to relieve the pain. And
Mhm.
one thing that I wanted to say when everybody was on board too, and you can remind them that when this product is being used by your clients or anybody else, we have a 30-day money back guarantee. We're
Okay.
so secure and for sure, so sure that our products do work, and they do what they say they're going to do. So, Adette, did you
Well,
have something you wanted to say?
no, like I said, I've got so many questions and I really like to do some more research, but I thank you for everything you have offered so far. Uh, yeah, if I could stop hurting, that would make me happy.
We can do that. That we can do 100%.
Awesome.
Yeah, feel free to email me or just text me.
Okay.
I can also put my phone number on
Right in
here.
the chat
Yeah.
and I'll get
Yeah,
it.
Can
go
you
ahead and
also put your
text.
email there? Can you also put your
Yeah.
your email? You should have her email, but just in case she'll.
Just in
Oh,
case,
go ahead.
yeah.
Another thing in terms of a business aspect of it and free again, first of all, I pray that you're able to use these patches and experience the relief that you're able to get.
Yeah.
I want you better soon, very soon. But Dr. Ashley and I, we often have conversations about program development. Just today we were having one for autism and parenting and how we can help with that. So this is kind of her area. But the reason why I highlight that is because if we're able to really sit here and really put our heads together about how this can look from a coaching perspective, so that we can train not just on the psychological aspects, but how we can integrate this into our practice. I've had the privilege of talking to Dr. Christine, and so I've learned a little bit. We don't do what she does, but I've learned a little bit about how she's been able to integrate it. And so this could also be a wonderful way for you to be able to kind of sit with us, and we can talk about this and what does pastoral counseling look like in this? How can we integrate this to really be able to help serve our community and serve the body? So this has got a different spin to it and a part to it. And I didn't do justice because Pastor Ed can run circles around my head about the financial piece of it. But that's just a little idea from this clinical to that perspective.
Sure. We use and I'm putting together a presentation right now for churches so that they can use this as a benevolent income way to create fundraisers for building funds and things like that. Where we're actually, Brother Lorenzo said to me that he would actually donate to the church their startup prices so that they can come in and know that it's not something that we're trying to push and to make income through the churches, but we just want to help. So that's another way of making income. So it's good.
We would love that. I would love to have, if I'm able to be a part of that presentation on some level, that really ministers to me and the work that we do. So I'd love to learn a little bit more about how that looks, how that could look, and pick up on some of the model.
Well, we can do a presentation and you can be my guest, and then we can go through it. I'll send you the presentation once I finish it. Hopefully I finish it within a week or so, and then we can do it together. That'd be awesome. It'd be great to have Pastor Skip and you also, Marquita. That would be awesome. That way we can bounce ideas back and forth, and then we can share it, because all the videos that we create, not this one, with your permission, all the videos that we create, we use it for teaching and training the rest of the people and the rest of the network.
Right.
We would be honored, and if Free Again in any way can partner on the presentation, on the clinical, on the spiritual, on any of these levels, we have such a diverse group. And you missed Dr. KJ. She's she's also a licensed psychologist. She's a spiritual director. She professor, you know, she's going to take sabbatical and work on a book. So we would love, we're different and we have these different aspects. And so if we can support you, we'll be there as I speak on their behalf, but we'll be there. And if you know, we'd love to learn on our end too, especially about the spiritual piece of it.
Right. Dr. Edith, I didn't get your area code with your phone number.
Oh, 818. Was it not on
It
there?
isn't. No, it was just the phone number. No,
Oh,
so
I can
818.
text you.
Okay.
Oh my
Do you want me to text it to you?
I got it.
Okay.
Thank you. Awesome.
Thank you, Dr. Ashley, for your kind words. Also, all of you guys were incredible today, and I think I learned a lot myself, which I love it every day. You know, when we learn something new is awesome, and helping people. That's our ministry with my wife and I. We didn't come in to make money in this business. God has blessed us with a lot of work and a lot of contracts that we have with making jewelry. So when this became our primary income, it's like flipped in less than 2 years. I can't wrap my head around it, you know, but it's because we're doing the right thing. We're in the right path. The door that God has opened for us has been incredible. We're close to 900 distributors and brand partners all over the world in that short of a period of time, 18 months. I know what's going to happen in a couple of years is beyond my comprehension, because the company is very given, and the compensation plan. There are people right now that are making $25,000 a week, $55,000 a week, and those numbers. You think about it, that's what people normally make a year. And here, this, you know, we're making it in 1 week turnaround. I'm not at those numbers yet, you know, but with God's help, and because we need money to be able to minister to people, just like what you said, Dr. Soha, you're going to be able to pay for half of so you need money in order to help them, right? So, but this is not all about money. This mainly importance to us and for our benefit is to help people all around the world, and we're doing that one patch at a time.
Yes, amen to that.
Good.
Well, if there's no other questions, I'd like, Pastor, can you pray us out?
Absolutely. Father God, we come to your presence just to thank you, honor, and bless you. Thank you for giving us an opportunity that we can come boldly to your throne, Lord. Father, you said to have no anxiety, but through prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let our requests be known unto you. And Father, we pray for our dear sister right now, Marquita. We ask you, God, that you would be with her in her time of needs, God. Thank you for allowing us that we can be instruments for her health, to help her, God, and to get her away from the pain that she's currently experiencing, God. Father, you said by your stripes we are healed, and we pray, decree, and declare that your healing touch will be amongst us and among your daughter, God, today and for the rest of our time together, Lord. Thank you for bringing us together. You said in a 2 and 3/4 cord cannot be easily broken, and then we stand together and we invite you to always be with us, always be with our teachings, always be within our mouths, Lord, so that when we speak, it's nothing that goes from our flesh, but from your spirit, God. Lord, we just want to thank you, honor, and bless you. We ask you, if anybody's traveling, to give us traveling mercies and to give us health, God, and to, more importantly, that we would know you even more each and every day, to get a little closer to your heart, to be able to hear the heartbeat, just like John the Apostle was able to stand, hear your bosom and lean on your bosom and hear your heartbeat. That is the cry of our hearts, Lord. And if we heal and we help people to be able to receive their healing, then we're doing that. Just like you said, those that have blessed even the little ones around us, we bless you and we touch you, God. And for that, we're most honored to be a humble servant for you and for your kingdom, Father. For you said, Lord, that to not care about the things of the world, but about your kingdom and your righteousness. And that's what we seek first, Lord, your kingdom and your righteousness. And we bless you today. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Amen, amen, and amen. Pastor, you and I will touch base, and I will speak to all of you guys sometime this week.
All right.
Alrighty.
God bless you. Take care.
Bye.
Have a good day,
Thank you
everyone.
again, Pastor Ed. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.